Good morning. Um, May the Lord bless you this morning on these Wednesdays. Um, it's kind of Wednesday morning. Here is our Wednesday prayer meeting in church, where we meet to pray together and to pray for each other and for the needs, not just of the family conference, but a conference at large. This morning, I would like to read from the Bible. I will read from the book of Proverbs, chapter 29 and verse 18. It's a very familiar Bible text. I will read from the New Revised Standard Version, where there is no prophecy, the people cast off restraint, but happy are those who keep the law. In other Bibles, other versions say, where there is no vision, the people perish, And I have read other versions that say, where there is no revelation, the people perish. So all these texts, sometimes when we think about vision, we think about that we had a great idea, or a big project. Sometimes we relate vision to that. Or sometimes we relate vision to something that I would like things to be different, or how things I would like this to be. Even though vision I relate to that, it has something to do with that text. More specific, that text is talking more about the prophets, the prophecy, the wisdom that God messengers, God used them to guide his people in the Old Testament, in the direction they should go. Sometimes they forgot the direction. So it's like the message of the prophet, the admonistation of the prophet, refocus the vision, the direction that people should go. Also receiving God's instruction in what direction to go, what to do. But the main idea, all that about vision, about revelation, about prophecy, is that the same way that revelation and prophecy comes from God, vision comes from God too, So even though vision we relate it to our maybe enthusiasm, but in reality vision is no man's related, no man's sources, origination is more God's sources, something that comes from God. So when we think about this, we should think how God is giving each one of us a vision in our personal life, in our personal ministry, as God's family. So the question will be how that vision or this vision that God has given me or has given you affect your life. How that affect your life. In the Bible, we had a few examples of God giving vision to people. For instance, the book of Genesis, chapter 12, verse 1 to 3, we had that story where God promised to Abraham a nation, And Bible said that the Lord said to Abraham, go from your country and your kindred and your father's house to the land that I will show you. I will make of you a great nation. I will bless you, I will make your name great, so that you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and the one who cursed you I will curse, and in you all the families of the earth shall be blessed. We find here a big vision. The Lord said to Abraham, I will make a great nation. Yeah, I will bless you greatly. And the Lord said, yeah, I will show you something big, something you have never seen before. You see, this is a big, great vision. Even today, you know, we sometimes think in the Old Testament, of course, the world maybe was smaller than ours. I mean, geography. The world that was known at that time was mostly the Middle East, right? So it's like everything around the world happening over there. Now things have changed. Now it's mostly about West influencing the whole world, you know. So, but even today, by the standard today, this is a great vision that the Lord will make from you. Imagine, Sister Barbara, that you will be the mother of a whole country. Imagine that. You know, that is something that, wow, something I can never imagine. And the Lord said that, not just I will make from you a big country, but also you will be a blessing for the whole world. And that blessing is so much that those who bless you, I will bless that person. And that who curse you, I will curse that person, you know. So then later in chapter 15, on the same book, the Lord is continue with these great blessings. And now the Lord showed to Abraham what that will be the method he will use for this great blessing. And in those verse 1 to 7, we find out that the Lord is telling to Abraham that he is going to have a son, ¿verdad? The Lord say, you have given me no, I'm sorry, Abraham is telling the Lord, I have no children. And except I had this man that he has been born a slave in my house, and he is like my child now. But the Lord said to him, this man shall not be your heir, no one but your very own issue will be your heir. That person will be heritage for you. You know, this person, something that will come from your own. This vision is going to be accomplished not through others, but something that will come from your own self. You know. So the Lord, in verse 5, say the Lord to Abraham outside and said, look toward the heavens and count the stars. You are able to count them. Then he said to him, so shall your descendants be. And he believed the Lord. This is a great vision. The Lord say, you heard the other people, the Lord do something great over here. You hear about people saying, the Lord did this for me. You know, all that. But I will tell you, something from you, from your own self, I will add in you. If you don't believe, look to the star. Count it, you can't. When I read this all Bible text, I realize that vision or revelation or prophecy also relate to the future. You know, also they can relate to the present, but many times it relate to the future. The focus is the future. This vision that Lord give His people, His children, is like saying, I want you to dream the most possible dream possible. You know, I want you to dream not just for today, not just for tomorrow or for next month. I want you to dream the most dream possible. You know, so vision is not so much about trying to replicate the past. You know, it's not about those glorious golden days that were in the past. Vision is more relay what God is going to accomplish for his people, for his children in the future. In the book of Nehemiah, we found, now that we are studying the Sabbath school lesson this quarter, we are studying a lot about Nehemiah. And we found that Nehemiah in the chapter 1, he heard the bad news that Jerusalem is ruined. That Jerusalem has not been rebuilt. The temple is still destroyed. It has not happened after so many years. You know, so some people have already returned. They start the work, but the work has not been completed. So he started to get sad, but something that is wonderful that Ezra and Nehemiah, they focus, they pray. When bad news comes, they start to pray and pray God for a vision and pray God for solution. They start to pray. How many days they were praying? I don't know, but they're praying a lot, you know. Some prayer have been answered quickly. Some prayer have been taking years to be answered, but they were praying. And then the Bible tells us that later in chapter 2, verse 12, we read that Nehemiah made a trip to Jerusalem. And then Bible says that when he was there, he got up during the night. And a few men with me, I told no one what my God has put into my heart to do for Jerusalem. And then Nehemiah, he received a vision. The Lord put in his heart what to do. He did not tell anybody in that moment, to wisely trying to avoid conflict from the very beginnings. He trying to clarify his vision to be sure that he understood the vision. He started to research a place, to make plans, and then to trying to find out the people that he will use, the resources to accomplish this vision. And then he took action. How you can see, Nehemiah was conscious about something. Nehemiah was conscious that always when somebody has vision, or when there is a vision for God people, always they are grippers, they are complainers, and they are self-proclaimed prophets. People that say, no, that will not work. No, this is not like that. You know, all that. Because we find a lot of people that it's easy for them to analyze the problem. They can describe the problem point by point, line by line. It's easy to find a lot of people that to talk about all the problems of the world. But actually, when Nehemiah knew that he will find that, that's why he tried to take some precaution, because he know that he will find a lot of complainers, you know. But he was aware that he need people, and he was aware that God's want people that not so much discuss the situation, but people that will do something about it, you know. Nehemiah saw problems. And then, with that vision that God gave him, instead of start complaining, even he felt sorrow, and he felt hurt for the situation. He spent more time in taking action, you know. So Nehemiah, he know that he will face threat. He faced fear. He faced discouragement. But these problems that were very difficult, he didn't know, those problems did not stop him in finishing God's work. You know, he continued how we faith. You know, sometimes we think that we should do God's work until all the problem has been solved. ¿Verdad? And sometimes we refuse to move one step forward until we have solved all the steps backward, you know. But Nehemiah showed us that even though we had to solve many other problems, those problems should not stop us of finishing what is ahead. You know, because there always will be problems. There always will be threat to the vision. There always will be fears about if something does go right. Always will be discouragement. But Nehemiah did not allow that to stop him. He moved forward to complete the work. He knew that there was a work to be finished that has been over there in the stagnant for years. And then he decided that the work has to be moved forward. So when difficult problem comes, there is a tendency for discouragement. And not only for discouragement, he know most likely conflict will arise. Because when there is discouragement, soil is ready for problems. You know, because the mind is ready to accept the defeat. You know, so we must recognize that there is no victory without troubles. You know, it might be a few exceptions, but since you are talking about victory, it's because you are facing a problem. You know, there is no triumph without troubles. Using Christ's example, we will say there is no glorification without a cross first. You know, so before the glorious comes, we had to go through the cross. You know, so when problems arise, let's face it, but also let's press forward to complete God's work. You know, so where there is no vision, the people will perish. God is the one who gives the vision to you, to your life, to your ministry, our family, God's family. And the Lord is willing to give you that vision. You will recognize what's that. And the Lord usually will put in you big visions. That's why a vision, because it's ahead, is something that can be accomplished only by God's help. That's why a vision comes from the Lord. So in Abraham's case, the vision was a great nation. That's a vision that took more than 400 years to accomplish, you know. More than 400 years. In the case of Nehemiah, the visions, the leader that were before Nehemiah was for many years. And when Nehemiah not allowed anything to distract, he was able to accomplish the vision in less than 2 months. Wow. You know, how the timing changed, you know. But so all of them have something in common. They come from the Lord's. Usually to accomplish that vision require God's intervention. In the case of Abraham, the Lord had to intervene in the valley of Sarah, in the valley of Abraham to have children, and had to intervene in the history of the people. People went to slavery over there, and they came out a free nation. They went to Egypt, a few people. The Bible mentions several dozens of people went into Egypt, and they came out a big nation and free nation. So sometimes it takes longer, but to accomplish that requires God's intervention. In the case of Nehemiah, even he had people who want to help. Even he had his plan how to do it. He needs God's intervention. So God intervened in the king of Persia to allow the permit to go over there to Jerusalem, allow the resources to provide from his own treasury. to build what Nehemiah wants to build. So in this morning, I want to encourage you, the vision the Lord has given you, remember that can be accomplished. He's given by Him, and He accomplished through His strength. The Lord will provide for the fulfillment of that vision. Let's remember that the Lord, when He gives you a vision, is going to challenge you in big, sometimes beyond your own strength, beyond your physical strength, maybe beyond your emotional, mental strength. But their vision, the Lord knows He can be accomplished through you, using you as instruments. So the Lord is going to challenge you, dreaming the most possible dream. You know. Remember that there always will be complainers. Remember that you always will face self-made prophets that will tell you every detail that goes wrong. You know. But remember that there always will be a lot of people that can discuss the situation. But the Lord will guide you, and He's choosing you because He wants people that will do something about it, not just to talk about it. So remember that we have to recognize that we have to face problems before we reach victory. There is no victory without problems. There is no glorification without a cross, you know. But even though we face that, we need to continue press forward to the vision to complete God's work. May the Lord bless you in this morning, and may the Lord give you a vision to you and to me, and be His instrument, so everything can result for God's glory. Have a blessing day.